some kits and some builds I've done. Cause mono building is supposed to be fun. So push play and away we go. It's time for the Glue Bomb Show. Yeah, it's time for the Glue Bomb Show. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Hey everybody, Dave Weiss here for the Glue Bomb Show. Today I have a review for you. This is on a build that I started off with Trevor at Monster Hobbies Model Car Garage for the Canada Strong group build, and then he notified me about King Bob's Model Works 100 Years of Pontiac group build, suggested I enter that one as well, and so I did. I've entered both of them, and I'm building this kit right here. This is the Monogram 79 Firebird Street Machine. I'm sorry, I stumbled there for a second. The 79 Pontiac Firebird Street Machine. I picked this up at Ollie's some time ago, good stuff cheap, and decided to use it for this group build when I found out that the Canadians had a considerable amount to do with the production of the Firebirds. So, also, I built this mainly in tribute to my favorite Canadian export, the band Rush, who I feel is probably one of the greatest bands of all time. See, one of the things I always wanted to do was I wanted to build a car that had, instead of having the Firebird Eagle or Firebird across the top, I wanted to put that owl from their iconic album, Fly By Night. And when I saw the Canada Strong group build and I saw that I had this Pontiac Firebird, I thought, I wonder if I could do it. And so I finally got around to doing this. Now, before I show it to you, I'm going to tell you in advance, I didn't have the easiest time of it, and I'll explain that as I went. For the record, this Monogram kit built so nicely that I wish at one point Ollie's probably had about 7 or 8 of these. I wish I had bought them all. Because it's a simple build, but you can make a really nice model out of it. So, let me show you what I did with it. Here we go. And there's the owl across the top. Now, you can't see this real well from here, but there are quite a few wrinkles in that owl. And the reason for that is because of this massive hood scoop. It just didn't quite lay the way I wanted it to. I printed these decals on some white decal film that I got from Panda. And overall, it was pretty nice. About the only issue is it's a little thick. And I put so much Solvaset on this you can't imagine, in hopes of getting it to lay in these nooks and crannies. Like, it's not really all the way flat over here. As far as things that I laid on flat surfaces, they laid down really nicely. It makes me want to go out and look for another Firebird that I can try this one more time. Something with a flat hood, or a more of a flat hood anyway. The big issue with me with this was my original plan was for these wings to go all the way back. That was what I wanted to do. I took the image from the album, I photoshopped it, fixed the wing tips a little bit, and then stretched them to try and reach back. The problem was, because of where that scoop sits, I could only make the owl body itself a certain length, a little over an inch, and that really cut back on what I could do with the wings. I mean, I could have stretched them further, but to my mind, I've already stretched them to the point of ridiculousness, so I don't think I could do much more than that. But overall, this kit builds up nice. It's a really nice kit. And I had a pretty good time with it. Like I say, it's one of these where if you look at that decal too close, it's going to drive you crazy, because I've been driven crazy by it as I tried to get it to lay a little nicer. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this this is my first time trying to do something like this where you extend the decal back over the doors and things like that. Again, the kit itself is beautiful. It works really nicely. As I'm looking at it, I feel like I don't have these front wheels set up in quite right, but I'll work on that a little bit. It needs a little tweak. About the only thing I had was there's a slight warp in the hood. I'm considering gluing that in place because I think if I glue it in place and clamp it, I can make it okay. The design on this was different than I had originally intended. My original intent was to make this look more like a drag car than a street machine. I had these graphics that said fly by night that were supposed to kind of fill the door and flow back onto the back fenders. And when I went to stick them on, they looked rough. I mean, I shouldn't say they looked rough. They looked nice enough, but they looked like, it looked like I went nuts putting stickers on something rather than trying to make it work and make it look more cohesive. And so I went and I looked at the original Trans Ams a little bit with the Firebird graphics and things on it, and I figured I would make it a little more subdued. The unfortunate part was I already had the owl laid on the hood by that point. So I had to kind of get my Tamiya tape out and get creative because I painted this black stripe across the bottom. I thought that gave it a little more, I don't know, a little more oomph maybe. I used Tamiya light blue for the main body color. I also carried that through on some of the interior parts. I kind of did a two-toned interior. And then I used a black Testors lacquer for the stripe itself. Overall, this thing went together really nicely, like I said. The issues with the decal are mine because I really didn't exactly know how to shape this out that it would fit around here. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure I could have gotten it to fit much better than that because the film was a little thick and it didn't quite want to bend. And like I say, there's a ton of Salvaset on here to try to get it to lay. You might notice the little sponsor decals on the back quarter panels there. They're a little hard to read, but they talk about Lee, Lifeson, Peart, and Fly By Night Enterprises. And then I made a little Canadian flag on the back for both sides for the Canada Strong group build. Also put a Toronto license plate front and back. I'm not sure if they have front and back license plates in Canada, but the guys from Rush are from Toronto. I found it online and thought it looked kind of fitting, so I put it on. I had originally made driver stickers up here for that say, well, they say Dark Lurks and Pratt, which are the nicknames the guys from the band gave to each other. I'm going to post some pictures at the end of this just so you can see it a little better, but yeah, this is the Fly By Night Firebird and Canada Strong group build and 100 Years of Pontiac group build. And I have to say, I really kind of got sad when they stopped making Pontiacs because Pontiac made some really cool cars, and this is among the coolest. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. These Monogram kits are pretty much fun because they go together easily, but they also go together nicely, and you can have a really good time with it. If you get a chance, pick one up. Had a great time with this one. I think you will too. Have a great day, guys. Remember, once again, model building's supposed to be fun. Take care.
We'll check out some kits and some builds I've done, 'cause model building is supposed to be fun. So push play and away we go. It's time for the Glue Bomb Show. Yeah, it's time for the Glue Bomb Show.